Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
Alright. Do you people have any kind of doubts from the previous classes about any built-in method from the socket.io? Any doubts in the previous class? Alright. So in this class, what we are going to do? We are going to perform certain CRUD operations, and after that, what we are going to do? We are going to implement a feature basically. And what is that feature? So did you people ever notice, like whenever if you are chatting with someone, and at that moment you people see that that person is typing, we get a notification, right? When the person is typing.
Yes, ma'am.
So we are going to implement that feature only with the help of socket.io. All right. So for that purpose, first we are going to implement the CRUD operation. After that, we will move to that particular is typing feature that we are going to implement in this class. Now moving on to my CRUD operation. So here I have established the connection, that is db.js with the MongoDB, and then here also I have created the schema of article.js. All right, just a second. Yeah, good. So here as I have created the article schema, I have to provide the title, body, author, and tags. All right. So these are the schemas. So just tell me one thing, by looking at the schema, can anyone tell me which type of import method are we going to use when we are going to perform the CRUD operation?
Module.
Okay, we are going to use the module type. So here
Ma'am,
I
please
have created.
a bit.
Shall I zoom it?
Yes, ma'am. Please zoom.
Okay. Is it visible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So here I have created a file named async-handler.js. Inside this, what I am going to do? Here I am going to create a function whose name is going to be async handler. And I will tell you the reason behind creating this function separately. So previously, just tell me one thing. When we were performing the CRUD operations, we were implementing the try-catch block, right? Inside the try block, we used to write our main code, and if some error was occurring, we used to deal with that error using the catch block and provide the response to the user. So here, when we are performing the CRUD operation in this part, I'm not going to use that try catch block. Instead, I'll be creating a function, and I will declare it using export const with a function name. That's name is async handler is equal to, here I will provide fn, which will basically contain an asynchronous function, and this will take request, response, and next as the parameter. All right. So here I will use promise dot resolve. Inside this, I will pass the entire function, that is fn, and then I will pass the request, response, and next. And if any error will occur, then it will be handled by the catch block. So now you will think, why did we write the promise.resolve over here? So whichever function that we are going to write inside the article controller.js, that can be a synchronous function as well as an asynchronous function. Are you people trying to get my point? We can write any kind of function over there, right? So what will happen? This promise.resolve function will wrap any kind of value which will be returned by the particular function. Say for example, if this fn function is returning a promise. So what will it do? It will take the value of that promise only. Just tell me one thing. Did you people learn the promise API while learning JavaScript? Did you people learn?
Yes, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay. So can anybody tell briefly what is the work of promise API in JavaScript? Those who have learned.
It will be definitely
Ma'am, in promise, there are three types, status like pending, fulfilled, and rejected.
Yeah. So what will happen? If
And
the
we
request is
also
fulfilled,
handling
then it
promises
is going to show
using
some
then method
response,
and chat
and
method. And finally,
so this is what exactly happens in promise API. It will provide some kind of response when the data is rejected, and so on. And those are handled by the then, catch, and finally. So here, now moving back to our main reason behind using this promise.resolve. So if any error occurs, that will be handled by the resolve method, and this will take the entire fn function in order to handle that error. Then it will move to the catch block so that it is thrown to the user who is using it. Now moving on to our article controller.js. Inside this, at first, I will import my express. So here, I will take, before importing the express, we have to import the article model that we have created in order to work with the data and the schema. So here, I will go back to my article controller, and then I will import article from models article. And after that, I will also import the async handler that I have just created. And after that, I will create a function, and the name of the function is list articles is equal to, I will pass this entire function to the async handler so that if any error occurs, that will be handled by the async handler. Inside this, an asynchronous function, just the way I told. Request and response. Inside this, I will take const. Inside the curly braces, I will write Q. This is known as the destructuring. So here it will take whichever data that is being passed inside the parameter as the query. Why do we write request.query? Any idea? We have written it somewhere else also.
any
Okay. See here, if I will search any website, or say for example, can you people see in this website only these data, auth user is equal to 1 separated by and then PLI is equal to 1 separated by the question mark. These two data, this part and this part. These are separated by the question mark, isn't it? So
ma'am.
these are the data which is passed inside the query as the parameter. So we find it inside the URL only. That is why what will happen? This queue will take whichever data is passed inside the URL as the parameter. So that is why it will take request.query. Now I will create a variable, that is const filter is equal to queue. So this one is my ternary operator, as all of you know. So if the data is present inside the URL, then what will happen? It will take the title, and this title will set as regex. It will take queue. And now moving on to the options. And this options will take I. Now you people might be thinking, why are we actually using this regex and options? Say for example, you are going through Flipkart, right? So say for example in Flipkart, inside this, in the search bar, I want to write iPhone. So shall I write small I and then capital P and then PHONE? It will take this way only as well. And also I can write each and everything in small case. In that case also, it is going to understand what do I actually want to search, irrespective of me providing the input in lowercase or uppercase. Is it showing any kind of effect? If I have written all the things in all the alphabets in lowercase, it is showing. Is it showing any kind of different data to me, or is it showing iPhone only?
Yes, ma'am.
It is showing iPhone only, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So what will happen whenever we are trying to search anything inside the search bar? That will be passed inside the URL as the parameter. So for example, I am passing this iPhone. See, in the URL it is present. Q is equal to iPhone. Can any of you people see over here?
Yes, ma'am.
So that is why we actually use the regex. All right. And the thing that I have just explained, that irrespective of the case sensitivity, it is providing me with the same response, that is iPhone. This I stands for in case sensitive. So what does the I stands for? This I stands for in case sensitive. Which means even if I write iPhone all in capital letter, or if I write iPhone all in smaller letter, then it is going to filter all the products which are iPhone and provide me with all the products which are having written iPhone in it. Got it till this part? Is there any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Right now, no, ma'am.
So if when will this condition execute? If the value of Q is true, which means the data which is passed by the user is existing in the database, or else it is going to provide us the empty object, which means we will not be able to find any product. After that, I will create one more variable, that is const data is equal to, here I will take away fetch. Yeah. So here I will use the article dot find method, and inside the find I will write filter. So whichever data will be found to me on the basis of the text that I have written inside the search bar will be searched inside the database, and then it will be sorted. Sorted according to what? This will be sorted according to the descending order of creation. What do we mean by the descending order of creation? See, whenever we mention timestamp in the model, did you people ever notice we get created at and updated at in our MongoDB database? Did you people ever see? It's not in this database. Let's see.
Yes, ma'am.
See here, We are getting created at. Can you people see? Which means what?
Ma'am.
Whenever we are going to mention the timestamp true inside our schema, just the way I have done, see, timestamp as true, it is going to take the created at value inside the database. On the basis of that data, we are going to sort the products which we are getting as the response. So whichever data has been declared in the very last will be shown to us. Latest data. All right. That is why we are getting the iPhone 15, which is the latest data present inside the database. So therefore, in order to show the data or sort the data in descending order, we use the created at. To this, we assign the value -1. And if I want to show it in ascending order, then I will provide just 1 over here. That is the positive value. Understood till this part?
Yes, ma'am.
Any doubt is there?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So here, finally, I will provide the user with the response in a JSON format. And here the user will get the data. That's it. So this is how I am going to list all the articles on the basis of user search function. Now I am going to read all the data or create data, update and delete. That is the CRUD. So here I will write export const get article is equal to async handler followed by the async method, request and response in the parameter. Inside this, create a variable doc is equal to await article. Just tell me quickly, if I want to search something on the basis of its ID in the database, which method should I use?
Use params.
Find by ID.
Great. Find by ID.
ID,
So
ma'am.
here I will write article dot find by ID.
Fine.
And inside this, I will write request dot. From where am I getting the ID? From the parameters. Dot ID. And then if the doc is not present or if the doc is not found, then return with a response of status code 404, that is not found, with a JSON message. Article not found. And if the doc is found, then it will respond with a, what is the successful status code?
200.
200.
200.
200. Great. So here I will write status 201 with a JSON, with doc as the JSON response. That's it. So the same thing I will carry out for creating the article as well. So here, instead of get article, write create article. These things will be there. And here we will write const doc is equal to await. And here I will write article dot create. And here I will write request dot body, in order to take the input from the user from the body only. And since we are not going to find anything over here, that is why I am removing this condition. That is the if condition, because I am creating a value over here. The same thing I will do in order to update the article. Update. And here, instead of find by ID, I will write find by ID and update. So here I will provide request.params.id. After that, what will I provide? Tell me fast. We have done this previously.
Update.
What should I write after request.params.id? I will take the ID and then what will I do? Update the data, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
how do we update the data? What should I write?
Update updates. Find by ID update.
Guys, we have already written that find by ID and update. Inside that, what should I write? Where do I update the data? I create a new data for that particular field, right? Where do I do that?
In
We have to write request.body because we are taking the data from the body only. And after that, since we are creating a new data, we just write new and this one is going to be true. Just keep this thing in mind that whichever question I'm asking in the class, I'm going to ask similar questions in the Viva as well on the time of your project review. And if I don't mark you at that time on the basis of your Viva, which I think that you people are not going to tell me, and after the review, you are not going to question me, ma'am, like, why have I scored this less marks? Because you are not answering at all. And again, the condition will be checked. If the doc is found in the data, is not found in the data, then it will provide article not found. Otherwise, it will provide us the updated data. That's it. Same goes with the deletion of the data. Delete article. And here, instead of find by ID, I will write find by ID and delete. So it will provide, on successful deletion, it will provide us the JSON message. Yeah. Here it will provide OK as true. That's it. So this is what our CRUD operation was. And here I will save the async handler. Now moving on to the typing feature that we see in our WhatsApp. For that purpose, what we will do, we will go to our feed.js. Inside the feed.js, we have to import what? What do we need? In the previous class, we have imported that.
Socket.
So here, I will write a function, export function. And here, register feed namespace. And inside this, I'm going to write IO. This IO is nothing but the object of the socket.io that we are going to use. All right. So inside this, we have passed the IO, that is the socket.io server object. And inside the function, we are going to write our main code. So here, can you people see a term namespace?
Ma'am.
So this
Yes, ma'am.
namespace is nothing but the room that you are trying to join. Say for example, our Google Meet. Our Google Meet is nothing but the namespace, or else we can also speak it as a room which we are trying to join. All right. So how are we going to represent that in our code? We are going to represent that with the help of const with a feed variable is equal to, and how do we create this room? With the help of a inbuilt method, and the name of that inbuilt method is off. Using the off method of the of the socket.io server object, let me write it over here for you people. IO is the socket.io server object. All right. So using the off method, we are trying to create a namespace. using the of method, we are trying to retrieve a creator retrieve a namespace or a room, so that people can talk with each other in that particular namespace. So inside the of, I am going to represent that particular name with feed. All right. So after that, after this, what I will do? I will create feed dot on method. And as we have discussed in the previous class, that this on method listens whenever a new connection is established inside a room, inside a particular node. So whenever a user will try to connect in that particular room, which we are representing as hashtag feed, so this will connect the user with that particular room. All right. So socket.io is giving us a socket object representing that particular user. So what will happen? It will take connection at the very first parameter. Well, what will happen when the connection will be established? It will take socket as the parameter and then provide an arrow function. Inside this const, I will provide user is equal to, okay. So in the previous class, I have discussed one more thing. So what do you people do at the very beginning whenever you meet someone stranger? What do you do? Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am. Didn't get your question. Sorry.
I'm asking, whenever you meet someone who is stranger to you, what do you usually do?
Ask the name.
Yes, ma'am. Ask about.
We at first greet them and then we ask for the data that we require, that is their name, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
And in the previous class, as I have discussed, what is that greeting part we mentioned in the terms of the socket? What happens?
Handshake.
Great. That is the handshake. Whenever we are dealing with the socket, the handshake is very necessary. And why is it necessary? Because the handshake carries the extra, that is the metadata. All right, whichever data is being passed inside the query. So for that purpose, I will take the handshake dot query. And if no data is present inside the query, then it will take an empty object. All right. And if the user's data is not present inside the query, then we can also assign a default user with the help of user is equal to guest. All right. So what is the first thing that happens when a user connects to a particular namespace? The handshake, the query, the data which is present inside the query is shared with the help of handshake. This is the very first step. And after that, what happens? We provide socket dot data dot user is equal to user. Now, what do we mean by writing this line? We actually mean that this socket.data.user is going to store the user's name in the socket object. Say, for example, you can also assume, did you people see the police officers or the army generals, those people? Did you ever see?
Yes, ma'am.
They contain a badge on their uniform, right? Where their name is written.
Yes, ma'am.
So we can relate that over here as well. That the socket.data.user is actually carrying a badge, which will help them to define who the user actually is. Got my point?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am.
Now
Yes,
here, when the user joins, what happens when the user actually gets admitted inside a particular namespace or a room? So in the presence of the user, what happens here? Socket dot broadcast dot emit. So whichever data that we want to show in our terminal, for that purpose we use the emit method. All right. So what happens whenever the user tries to access inside this, whenever the user successfully gets admitted in a particular row, this will send an event to all the other clients. Say for example, someone new enters inside our Google Meet. It shows us like this, right? Say for example, Suman. Suman has joined the room. It provides us a notification, doesn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.
So how does that notification appears? With the help of socket.broadcast.emit method. Understood? Why do we use the emit method?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just quickly raise your hands, those who have understood. I just want to see how many people are there in the meeting. Quickly raise your hands, those who have understood. Only 3 of you. Okay. All right. Right. Those who are not listening or not raising their hands, they are none of my issue. They will face the consequences in the project review. All right. So here, what is the event that is happening? Presence, which means the user is joining the room, isn't it? So what will happen? After the user joins the room, it will take the user, then the ID. And this ID will take socket.id. Now, why are we writing this socket.id? See, whenever a user tries to join in a particular room, a particular socket is generated. Say, for example, yeah, lower your hands down, everyone. Lower your hands. Like, say, for example, Janki has joined the room. So for Janki, there will be a particular socket.id. After Janki, Satish has joined the room. So for Satish, one more socket.id will get created. After Satish, Suman has joined the room. So Suman, for Suman also, a particular socket ID gets generated. Similarly, the number of people will join the room. That number of socket ID will be created, and each and every socket ID will be different from each other. That is why whenever a user joins the room, there it will show the user who has joined the room. Along with the user, it will also provide us the socket ID which has got generated after the user joined the room. Am I clear till this part?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So this much has been done. After that, we are now trying to provide the typing indicator. All right. Here I will show typing notification. Not actually the notification. Yeah, notification.
How to make them?
So here, which built-in method are we going to use? We are going to use the on method, right? So here I will write socket.on, and inside this we are going to mention the event which is happening, that is the typing event, when the user is actually typing something. After this, it will take the payload. And what does the payload contain? The payload will contain the information. And what are the information? That information is going to be .broadcast .emit. Typing is the event. After that, here it will take the user who has joined, followed by payload. Okay. One more question. Does anyone know what this actually is? The 3 dots, what do we call it?
It's bridge operator.
Can you please repeat?
Spread operator.
It's bridge operator.
Yeah, the spread operator. And what is the work of the spread operator? this spreads the data of a particular, it expands the value of an object into key value pairs. All right. So even if we are going to write a particular data which is carrying an object, that is going to expand all the expand the object into its key value pairs. Like whichever data the payload is having is going to destructure. Say for example, in the payload, we have provided the user's name, the ID which is getting generated, and the status of the type. Say for example, we can provide is type is equal to false when she is not typing. And we can also set is type is equal to true when she is typing. So that entire thing is present inside the payload, which gets expanded when we write this spread operator. Am I clear till this part?
Yes, ma'am.
So whenever the user is typing on the screen, it will show us first the username, and then she is typing along with whichever data is present inside the payload. Now moving on to another event. Say for example, the user is trying to create or update any kind of task. All right. So how to show that? With the help of here, we can write an event to broadcast CRUD updates into a live activity, a live room. All right. So how can we take the example? Say for example, here inside the message section, I am creating a message that is hello. See, it is showing us in the live room that a particular data has been created and that has been updated inside the in-call messages section. Trying to get my point, what I am trying to implement in this part over here.
Yes, ma'am.
So here, what I will do, in order to show that kind of functionality, I will again use socket.on method. Inside this, I will write activity because this time an activity is being performed. After that, here I will take EVT, which is nothing but the object of an event that is performing in the function, that is being performed in the function. Inside this, I will write feed.emit. It will again take the activity. And here, I want to show at what time the message, say for example, I am creating a message. Along with that, I want to show at what time the message has been created. So just tell me one thing we have done in the previous class as well. How to record the particular time. Or you can also say a unique time. We have done that in the previous class.
With
Date now.
Great.
date.
Here we will write this event has been performed at date.now time. After that, it will also provide the user's name, whichever user is performing that event. Along with that, it will also provide the data about the event which is being performed over here. Say for example, the event has been performed and the name of the event is creation of a task. So that will be present inside this EVT. Along with that, it can also take the ID of a particular event that is being performed. That is why we are writing the spread operator before event as well. And now finally, after typing something and after creating something, the user has done his part of work inside the room. Now the user wants to get out of the room. So for that, we are going to write one more activity, that is socket.on, and this time the activity of the user is going to be disconnect. and it will take an arrow function again. And here we will provide socket dot broadcast dot emit. Here the presence of the user will be, at first the presence will be presence was joined. This time the presence is going to be leave. This time again it is going to take the user and the ID of the user in order to show that the user has left the meeting. We often come across this term, right? The user has left the meeting. Is there any doubt? Hello.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
No.
Any doubt from the previous classes?
No, ma'am.
All right. Okay. So if there are no any doubts, then you
None.
people can leave the meeting now. And we'll connect again tomorrow and complete our rest of the work, because we have to show it in the front end as well, that yes, a particular user is typing something. So in one tab, what I will do, I will create a front end in one tab, and in the another tab I will create the same front end. So in the another tab, if I will write something, then it will show that this particular user is typing something in the another tab. Got my point? And one more thing that you
Yes,
people have to do. See, listen, this is the important thing. Just the way I have created this article controller.js and I have performed the CRUD operation, your part of work is to do the same. Create the same functions, that is list, get, create, update, and delete. Instead of article, write plan over there. Why? Because you are going to perform the CRUD operations in plan. So tell me one thing, inside the plan controller.js, I have provided all these CRUD operations. Okay. What your part of work to do is, I am providing the schema to you people.
Yes, ma'am.
Take the plan schema. This one is your plan schema, and this one is your task schema. All right. And for your referral, I'm also providing you people with the CRUD operations of the article. Just write the codes with your hands instead of copying and pasting, and create the CRUD operation for the task and plan. Got my point? Understood what you have to do?
Yes, ma'am.
Just copy paste them, the data that I have provided, and try to perform
No,
the
ma'am.
CRUD operations on plan and task. Are you trying to say something, Tejas?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, your voice is breaking. Can you please say it again?
See, in the chat box, I have provided a couple of schema.
Yes,
That is
yes.
the plan schema and the task schema.
Okay.
Along with that, I have also provided the CRUD operations that we have done in today's class.
Yes, yes.
Now, your part of work is to do the CRUD operation on the plan schema and task schema. All right?
Okay.
And be back in the next class. Because in the next class, we will be continuing with our typing. All right?
Sure.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, everyone. So if there are no any doubts, then you people can show me the notification of people got disconnected. All right?
Ma'am, I have one doubt.
Yeah, Satish.
Ma'am, why are we using some curly braces in the variable names, const curly braces variable?
Because that part is known as destructuring. And what do we actually mean by destructuring? Say, for example, in the postman, you are trying to send something. Say, for example, you are sending your name, your email, and then your date of birth. So if we are sending all of them inside the curly braces, and we are writing request.body. All right. So this is the code that we actually write, isn't it, Satish?
Yes, ma'am.
So here, after writing this entire thing, when in the body of postman, you will write name, in a JSON format, anything. And after that, you are going to provide your date of birth. So that is also something like this. So that will get destructured, and each of the data will take their respective values. Name will take its own value, email will take its value, and DOB will take its value. This is what we basically mean by the destructuring of variables. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
That is why we write them inside the curly braces.
Okay, ma'am.
Any further doubts?
Yeah, ma'am, I have a query, ma'am. Could you please explain
Yes.
explain about project review? What we have to do, show to you our project, as I'm a front end specialist and have to connect a bit of with back end as well. So what would be the scenario for that day?
See, whichever thing I'm teaching you inside the class, try to implement it for your project. You people might have got your project problem statements, I guess. You people have got it, right?
Yes, ma'am.
What is your problem statement?
What, ma'am? Your voice is not clear at that time when you ask something.
What is your problem statement for the project?
Collaborative AI, ma'am.
Yeah, AI invention is my our project, team project, but we two people are working on that as a front end, and another one is back end.
Okay. So in the very first class, we have taken the response from Gemini API, if all of you remember, from the Gemini, Google
Yes,
Gemini.
yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So try to implement that in your project. Like the way I have shown you in the class, try to implement all of them in your project. And along with that, we are now working with the real-time data. Implement that in your project as well. Say, for example, you're creating an idea generating platform where you are trying to get the data from the AI for some business startup. At that time, you have to send the prompt from the front end, your website's front end. Send the prompt from your front end, like provide me a solution of, and then provide a mathematical question. And then write the backend code through which your question will be sent to Gemini, and you are getting the response back from Gemini in your backend. And from the backend, show the data to the user's front end and store that particular data in the database. Getting my point?
Yes, ma'am.
And then show it in a real time. The way I'm showing you all these things, say for example, while it is taking the time in order to fetch the data, till that part you can show just the way I will show typing in my front end in the next class. You can show searching or thinking longer for a better answer. You can show this in your UI as well. Till the time you are getting the answer. Okay. So this is how you are going to implement these things in your project. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Even though if your teammates are not being responsive to you, like if they are not working, then you try to complete the project on your own. And those who will complete the projects on their own will get the marks, and rest of the others who have not worked in the project will not get the marks. And mere copy pasting of code is not highly appreciated. You have to understand each and every line of code, because I am going to ask you people on the questions of your code only.
Okay, ma'am.
All right.
Okay, ma'am.
All right. Bye bye.